Yo, this character is so busted. Oh my god, the damage. What's going on, guys? Damocles here, coming at you with my first Pokemon Unite build video, this time for Absol. She is absolutely my favorite character from the beta because she does insane amounts of burst damage. If you play MOBAs and you like characters with super high burst, you know, you played like characters like Zed or Diana in League of Legends, you're going to love this character and you're going to love this build. But this is beta footage, so just keep that in mind. It could change to the full game, but she is just a nasty character and you're going to love this build. So if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, you know the whole deal. We have a full game of commentary after I get finished with these skills, so I'm just going to go over them briefly. I'm not going to go over every single one. That'll be in a different video. I'm just going to go over the ones that pertain specifically to this build. So Absol, just at a base level, her passive gives her higher critical hit rate, which is fantastic for an assassin. She gets Feint and Slash to start off the game. I usually start with Feint so that I can jump over the jungle wall and immediately begin my clear. Feint is really good. It just is a dash that allows you to pass over walls, really easy escapes. Like, it does decent damage, all kinds of stuff. At level 5, which should be once you finish your first jungle clear, you're going to get Pursuit, and this is when you can go super aggressive basically for the entirety of the game because this ability is disgusting. It makes it so your dash, your Feint, transforms into Pursuit, and it augments your first basic attack coming out of that. You're going to see like these triangles on other characters, and if you hit them from behind, it's going to do a massive amount of damage, and it's going to reset the cooldown of the dash. So you can, like, nobody can escape from you, and if they run away from you, they're going to be taking massive damage from behind. It is so incredibly disgusting. You guys will see how much damage this thing does. It's nasty. You need to work on your positioning to make sure you can actually get those hits, but it is so good, and then when you upgrade it, it gives you increased movement speed. Psycho Cut is what you're going to be getting for your Slash upgrade. This is going to make it so, I don't know why this description says this, it's not accurate. If you hit somebody with this, it's going to mark the target so that your next 3 attacks against them hit harder. It's going to empower your attacks. And I also believe it slows once it's been upgraded. You guys can check the footage, but it's really nasty. So basically you go and you hit them with Psycho Cut, you hit them with your Pursuit, and you're just going to delete people from the map. Like, you'll see me like 1-shot and 2-shot people in this game. It's really good, so make sure you pick up Pursuit, pick up Psycho Cut, and then her Midnight Slash. You guys already know what it does. She dashes across the screen, but I'll have a whole other video going through every single thing. For this build, I run Scope Lens, I run Float Stone, and I run Attack Weight. This makes it so Attack Weight, when you score, which you should be doing a lot as a speedster, you get a damage buff. Float Stone makes it so you move faster. I think this is going to be mandatory on a lot of builds. And then Scope Lens makes it so your critical hits do more damage, which is, you're going to see, matters a lot because you're going to be hitting crits all the time. So now we're going to jump into the actual gameplay. If you like this and you like this format, please let me know down below in the comments. If you want to see more Pokemon Unite stuff, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But let's hop into the gameplay, and I will just break down everything that I was doing in this game so you guys can check it out. Let's hop into it. Alright, so this is a pretty fun game for me. This is towards the very end of the open beta, so I've had a ton of time to actually play as Absol, and we're kind of playing for fun at this point. So I'm very greedy for kills this game. You're going to see a lot of aggressive gameplay, and then sometimes I overstep my boundaries and I also get murked, so a nice balanced bit of gameplay for you guys to be able to see just what she can do, because I do pop off a lot in this game. I don't really focus on points as much as I should, but we still win by a lot. It is a pretty nice little blowout, and I'm playing with my buddy Best Top NA. He played Greninja for the first time this game, so he did pretty well as well. But this is going to be just really good for me to showcase how she plays in the actual game and just go over my general play style. So I'm running eject button, which is kind of like League of Legends Flash, and I pop Feint first so that I can get over the wall and start my jungle route. I do try and go mid lane as much as possible with Absol, because that way you don't have to share XP with everybody in the lanes, and because you are fast and because you do a lot of damage from behind, it's really useful to be in the mid lane where people can't see you, and that way you can pop out on whatever lanes you want. Ideally for the jungle route, you'd want to start with Ludicolo first, because Ludicolo is your quintessential like jungle buff. He gives you increased damage to wild Pokemon, which makes it so when you're clearing the wild Pokemon in the middle of the map, you can clear them faster, right? And that, whereas the Buffalo buff basically applies a slow to your basic attacks, and you kind of want to grab that afterwards so you have that when you go to lane and surprise people. You can see right now, I see these people are pushing up and they're being super aggressive, and they've got 3 people in top, and I don't want them to plant, so I go in and I start murking people. You can see I got my level up on my pursuit, so as soon as I have that pursuit, I know I can go and just pop people in the other lanes of the map, right? This allows us to really start snowballing the game. I come up from behind, I get those pursuit resets, and I make sure I try and starve the enemy team of their HP buffs as much as possible, because that makes it so my laners can have a much easier time. I kind of sit around just to see if they're going to try and push up again, but they don't for the time being. Again, the name of the game, even though I'm playing for a lot of kills in this particular mode, is points, right? You want to focus on the points. So if you can sneak behind enemies if they're super pushed up and get your goals in, focus on doing that, so that if you have a mistake or something and you die, you don't lose all of your points. Now I don't really have a lot of points right now, so I'm kind of just doing this to remove the enemy's team's points and to put them farther behind my team. So now I'm level 6, almost level 7, and those people have now been killed twice in the past like 3 seconds of the game, and I know that they cannot touch me when it comes to pure damage output at this point, because now I've got pursuit and I've got psycho cut, which makes it so I'm just a damage machine, even though the game has been going on for only 3 minutes. Now you can see here, I see that the other team is extended on the bottom side, so I come over, I try and see if I can pick up any kills, so that my teammates down bottom can go and turn in, and now we turn in, you know, a huge amount of points, like what is it, like 80 points, and we get rid of their gold down there. Now, something to keep in mind is counter jungling, right? I want to make sure that the enemy team can't get back in the game, so I'm going to go and try and mess them up as much as possible. Like this Haunter wants his buffs in his own jungle. Nothing tilts an enemy team more than just being killed right outside their base, right? And I'm going to go and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to sneak up behind these people. They're overextended again, and I know if I attack them from behind like I just did, I can just melt their entire team, and we end up getting a large amount of kills off of it. I still try and play it a little bit safe because, again, don't want to give up my points, but as far as damage output, like, you should not be scared to go up against anybody as Absol, like, at this point in the game, because she just does so much damage, especially when you're coming from behind. And I don't think a lot of people know how to play against that, because everyone's innate reaction is run away when you see, you know, a tanky, not a tanky, a fed person on the enemy team, right? So I'm level 9 now. This Bulbasaur or Ivysaur is like level 8, but it doesn't matter. I can just go all in on him. You see I got a 1300 crit there. I'm going to also go in on this Haunter once I go and refill. I see Ninetales is behind me, so if I go too hard and I end up getting like turned on, I know that I have a teammate there as well. But something also to keep in mind is that Pursuit does a lot of extra damage, but you need to be behind the person, right? So you don't have to automatically lunge to the person when you're using it. You can lunge to the side and just get it primed up, and that way when they're actually turned away from you, you can get that big damage boost. You don't want to go and like mess up. Like here I go a little ham, right? Like I see there's 3 people. I try to go for all 3 just to get a cool outplay, and I go back in too early on the Gengar, and I miss the back smack, and so I don't get it, right? And Lucario doesn't exactly do anything, but that's just 100% on me because I'm just feeling myself, right? I'm just like, all right, let's go. Now, this is just a debacle, right? Lucario just sitting in a bush letting Gengar drop a 40 in the bottom. I don't know what to say about that. It's a beta, though. People don't really know how to play MOBAs that well, I guess. But that wouldn't have happened if I didn't go and try and, you know, style on some kids, right? Could have played it better, could have prevented it, but that's on me. And that's why you kind of just, you still want to err on the side of caution, right? You want to be safe, but it was pretty cool. We ended up getting 2 off of it, and I just come back to lane, and these people can't run away from me because my pursuit is always just going to be coming back up. It's just, it's so good. And at this point, when I use pursuit, it also gives me a movement speed buff. Gengar pops his Unite ability on me, and I could fight him, but I would rather not fight him and just wait, because why am I going to risk my life when I can just wait for teammates to come and back me up, right? So now, at this point, we're like fully in command of the game. I'm not really going for a massive amount of points. I'm just going to pop these people. You can see I just absolutely delete both of them off the map, which is pretty crazy. And then this Absol, I'm waiting for her to drop so that I can go and get the reset on that, and she keeps trying to run away, but she's not going to escape me because I'm just fed as hell right now, and I know how to play Absol. And then it's just about applying pressure at this point, right? Like, you don't want them to think that they can leave their base and go and get any points, go and get any buffs or anything like that. Here, I misplay super hard in front of their base, miss all of my stuff, and I eat a bit of humble pie from the Absol and the Cramorant, but not much you can do about that. It's just like, you know, you live and you learn. But for that, we lose, like, what is it, 28 points here. Venusaur goes back to base, but this game is, like, pretty much firmly in our grasp at this point, and now it's kind of just about killing the enemy team, farming the creeps in the jungle, and planting as many points as we possibly can while we wait for Zapdos to come up. Here's an interesting play because, again, you don't want to be in the middle of 5 people as Absol, right? You're an assassin. You don't want to be dealing with all that. You don't want to be taking all that damage. So you kind of, you can see I kite back here. I try and look for potential, like, engage points where I can go and pop off on somebody. I can see that Greninja's getting attacked in the bottom lane, but I go and I heal back up and I see, okay, now they're all split up. I know I can go for these people because I do a ton of damage, and they make the mistake of turning their back on me. So now that the team is split up a little bit, I go in, I get that kill, or actually Slowbro gets the kill, and we can just go and systematically destroy their entire team as they run away. So it's just like stuff like that where it's like you just have to play a little safe, wait for your engages, because you're able to delete people off the map super easily, so you don't want to be the first one in, even if you're super fed. So you can see now my team is, like, pretty much caught up with me in levels. Some of them, like Greninja, have passed me because they've been putting in a lot more points. I go and I just drop 9 there for no particular reason at all, and then I'm able to go back and start farming some of their jungle camps, deny them more easy experience, you know, make it so it's 10 times harder for them to actually get back in the game. And now you can see there's 2 people on my team. One has 40, one has 50 points, and it's just about seeing if we can get those points to be scored for them because I'm just sitting on 11. Zapdos is obviously supremely important in this game. I could do a whole video about Zapdos and how important it is to control Zapdos and why you should never give up in even games like this where I'm stomping the enemy team, because Zapdos can make it so you can win basically any game no matter how far behind you are if you just play one team fight correctly. So, but that's beside the point. Right now we're in another team fight scenario. They're all grouped up. They're chasing down. And right now we're kind of about just making sure that we don't allow them to deposit a bunch of extra points. They're sitting on about 55 points. I go and I pop my Unity move, gives me a little movement speed, but again, I'm not fully engaging yet. I'm just chomping away at the people that are over-engaging on their side, overextending on their side, and biding my time, waiting for my team to get back, get into position, and then you can see I cut around the back and I go for a flank on people I know I can kill. I chop, sorry for that, I take a big bite out of Cramorant, and then I clean up Venusaur, and that's kind of how you want to play. You let them push in, and you make sure that you can get those back smacks, because, I mean, when you're hitting people for 2K from behind, like, there's nothing they can do, right? And so I'm going to run up now that everybody's dead. I was planning on going and turning in my points there, but Absol, you know, came to the rescue and stopped me, so now I kind of got to go and just try and go for one in the middle of their base. Obviously that's not going to happen without a Zapdos or anything like that, but you can dream, and the game is going to, you know, the game's going to end, and we're going to be victorious. It's not the biggest margin. Usually those margins come when, you know, some people on your team are doing a lot better, or when you get a Zapdos and you can get or a Rotom, and you can get those immediate, you know, plays for big points. But we ended up with a pretty good score line, and I hope that my commentary and just kind of walking you through helped you out a little bit. If you like this style, please let me know. If you want to see a different kind of video, please let me know. I got a bunch of them. I'm really loving playing this game, and subscribe for more. Thanks.